I think we're live. So this is the second live for my road to Rochester, helping people improve. Oh, hang on. So as you guys might know, I am setting up live streaming. So this is the second one. I've improved a little bit, but to get the chat happening, I just need to be better. So I'm going to do that now in the meantime while this is happening. What's the biggest issue with your playing? If you could improve anything, click your fingers and get a better result with your brass playing or your music or your performance. What would it be? Ponder that for a second while I log in so I can actually use the chat. I'll know to do this next time. Here we go. I love the learning process. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Next. Oh, I think the batteries on my keyboard are getting flat. That should work. So we're working. So don't we love modern technology? I'm learning. So now I need to just double verification on everything. Love it. So I've got to open iPhone app. YouTube or Gmail. All right. Because I'd like to get the chat happening for, yes, it's me. So if you're watching going, Greg, get on with it. Hopefully the chat will pop up. Yes, it's me. Look out. Mystery to mastery. Close. We're here. Hey! Welcome, everybody. Endurance. Okay, so I was in Texas. I did a masterclass for the marching band. It was in Huntsville, in Texas. It was the International Trumpet Guild's Rafael Mendez trumpet solo competition, and I was playing lead in the big band, and Bobby Shue and Ingrid Jensen and Carl Jenkins were all out the front. It was fantastic. And playing lead in Texas in the big band, great. And I did a master class to all the guys at the surrounding unis and stuff. As I was walking from my accommodation to rehearsal, I hear the marching band out on the parade ground, and they were blowing their faces off. It was insane how loud they were playing, right? And I'm not saying people with poor endurance play too loud, but in this case, I did the master class, and I got asked the question, how do we get stronger? And I'm like, you guys are the strongest people on the planet. You don't need to be stronger. It's not strength that's the issue. It's efficiency that's the thing. We've all got the strength to play for hours and hours, but it's what we do with these muscles. And yes, there is a thing called conditioning, but generally, endurance, and I'd be curious, Hagok, is there a range issue as well? Because generally, range and endurance have the two joined problems. They're joined at the hip. Normally, if someone says, I've got endurance problems, I've got range issues. So it comes from, and these are the pictures that I've just actually put up here. It's literally this, right? we get to, I want to get rid of that. That's all working. It's great. I think I'm just about sorted with this thing. So the way that we get taught is generally get given a book. That's the way I got taught, and a lot of people do. Not everyone learns from ink and a book, obviously, but generally you've got a trumpet book and you pick it up. You've heard someone play. You've got a teacher showing you what to do. You know what it's supposed to sound like. So we learn from the ink, right? The low C or the G or whatever note's written there, and then the teacher goes, this is what it's supposed to sound like. And then the brain stores the feeling, right? So we've got ink, we've got sound, and we've got feeling. So someone, brand new beginner, might pick up the horn and play straight away, and it might even sound good, but they could be fully activated in the abdominals, there's tightness through the throat, there's the shoulders, bad breath, tight chops, push, but hey, you got the note, you fulfilled the obligation, you got the note was on the ink, teacher plays, you play, you get the note, so the brain stores the feeling because there was a success. Now that feeling could be taken all the way through a career, creating endurance issues and range issues, because the feeling of efficiency is completely different. So what the 10-step tune-up and everything I do here is feeling first. Learn the feeling first, the feeling of efficiency. Then we add sound without compromising the feeling. Then we add the ink without compromising the sound. I call it inkitis. You're working on process, you're working on the feeling, you're working on great playing technique and everything. It's working great, everything's cool. Then all of a sudden you get put in front of a piece of music and we break out in inkitis. The brain just panics. It's got to get it right. It's got to get it right now, and it's going to grab all of our habits that we've learned, the feelings that we've learned in the past, to try and facilitate the outcome. So the whole thing about endurance is, first of all, we've got to understand, I call it the 3 pillars here, and my graphic designer is currently, as we speak, doing this with a white background. Knowledge, integration, experience. The quality of the experience, and there's a little cat behind there, you sort of see him just hiding behind the pillar. The quality of the experience is purely dependent on the quality of the integration of the right information, the right knowledge. If the knowledge is flawed, which mine was for years and years and years, then the integration of that knowledge was very average, very inefficient. It was dedicated, but I would never, ever, ever have got to the point in my playing that I did after getting updated knowledge, a lot of it from my own experience, because everything that I'd learned from the books was not getting me to the level that I wanted to get to. So then my experience was frustrating and average at the start. Now I just got back from a tour with a group that I used to play with 10 years ago, and I could not believe how easy the book was now compared to back when I used to play it. So my endurance had improved. I'm just checking the chat. There's a couple there. Cheeky Benny. Oh, hello, Cheeky Benny. Yeah, it's great that I'm going to Rochester. Fantastic. I know. Wicked. Can't wait to see you there. So my experience was one of frustration, going to quit. Now it's one of, I can't believe how easy the instrument can be. And I get slaughtered and sledged all over the planet when I say that brass playing's no harder than humming, talking and singing. But when we learn the feeling of an efficient voice, and we go, how does the voice work? We go, we can breathe, nothing complex. We can relax. And when I do this at masterclasses like I'm going to be doing in Rochester, Eastman School of Music, 28th of May, come along to ITG 50. It's going to be monstrous. Every time I get on stage and demonstrate this, I get someone out of the audience and they look at me like, how does that work? That's not possible. Brass playing's harder than that. So even not anticipating to play now, but I'll get somebody up out of the audience and I'll get them to put their hand on my abdominal wall and I'll kick, because that's what I was taught to do for years. You want to blow faster to play higher. Blow faster to play higher. Blow more air to play louder, which is blowing faster. If you're going to blow more air, you've got to blow faster. All right? Blow faster to play high. How do you play a soft high note? Do you blow fast slowly? Or a loud low note, blow slow fast? It doesn't make sense. So I'll get somebody, I'll put their hand on my abdominal wall, and they put their hand up, then I'll go, nothing. And nothing activates. And that literally, the faces, you can see them thinking, how does that work? It's not effortless, but we've got a orbicularis oris, it's a sphincter, it's really strong, so we learn how to use it in the right way, and we learn that the body's role is it's just for loud notes and long notes, right? That's the abdominal activation, moving air, is for long notes and loud notes, not for range, not for pitch. And this goes against so much teaching. And there's nothing I can do about that. All right, so this was basically jumping on today to, we're working towards, I leave in a month's time, and we're going to do this road to Rochester, go through all the concepts that we're going to be speaking about on stage on the 28th of May. And a lot of the concepts are all about changing the brain. Firstly, the brain learns from the feeling, but we've got to have a very good picture of what we're looking for, what we're trying to achieve. What does it look like? What does our desired result look like in our mind? What are we intending to do? Then, what does it feel like? So I get people to hum effortlessly. This is all explained, by the way, at the 10-step tune-up at mysterytomastery.com. If you want to play more efficiently, get over your endurance problems, do the 10-step tune-up. Won't cost you anything. You have the entire course for free for a week. You've got to put your credit card in to verify yourself. You won't be charged, so don't let that turn you off. Come and do the course for a week. People have come and gone in that first week. That's completely fine. Get the information and, get the knowledge. The course is about my support for integration, so you get the best experience. That's what the course is about. But come and get the information, all right? So we've got to know exactly what we're trying to achieve. You've got to learn the feeling of what you do want. And so someone asking about endurance, what does poor endurance feel like? When do we start getting tired? Why do we start getting tired? Because we're using the wrong muscles in the wrong way. We're using muscles against muscles, and it's a weightlifting competition, and we close off and we choke, and I used to do all of this to the point where I was going to quit playing. So it doesn't have to be that way. But to change the brain, you've got to be sick and tired of the limitations and ceilings that you're dealing with and go, right, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make a serious change to my playing. So what does that look like? Well, what's my struggle? Mine used to be teeth closing and my throat closing. Killing myself, getting migraines. What lengths do you have to go to learn a new thing? Well, I had to this is 20 years old, this stuff in here, dental putty that I made myself. to train the brain the feeling of keeping the teeth open. Do you think I could play like that straight away? No, of course not. Felt ridiculous. I threw them away for a couple of years before my belief system was on par with what I'm trying to achieve. I knew what I wanted, but I just hadn't experienced it before. But learning the feeling by using little, tricks like that, how to change the brain, because it's a feeling. I know the feeling I don't want, and it's I don't want to do that anymore. I want to play easily. So, it's nowhere near as hard as the trumpet. It's nowhere near as hard as we make it. Hi, Greg. Evo, man, we need to chat. Good to see you. Dude. Well, I mean, this is what we're talking about. It's the feeling. Like, as you know, in the course, we've got a video called the alphabet, and we go through A, B, and go, what are the lips doing? What's the tongue doing? What's the throat doing? Every single letter to get the result that we want. If we can't get it, it's all the same thing. It's literally, what do I want? What does it feel like? I want to know what the feeling is that I want and the feeling is that I don't want. What I don't want to do anymore is, what I do want to do is go, and then it's a process of, with eyes closed, it's called inner speech in neurological terms. I call it messaging from our conscious to our subconscious brain. My brain is wired to do something. And guess what? It really doesn't want to change. We can consciously want to get over endurance. We can consciously want to do a lot of stuff. But to actually put the work into hardwire a new habit takes a degree of obsession, not nuts, not manic, not panic, not life sucks, but I'm into it and I'm going to get better because I love what I'm doing. There's focus exactly on what we're working on, not 10 things, one thing. What am I trying to nail into the ground? I actually call it stakes in the ground. We're going to do one at a time. It's in our belief series of pictures here. Stakes in the ground. One stake at a time. Bang, 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 bang. It's a new habit. Instead of trying to consciously juggle 5 plates at once and try and control everything, brain gets overwhelmed and confused, doesn't know what to do. So we've got to learn, if we're not happy with our current playing and we want to make a change, what is that change? Then we've got to be serious about it. Focus exactly on what we're working on. Again, that's what the 10-step tune-up does. Go through my number one teaching tool, the magnifying glass. Goes through the physiology, the physics, putting it all together. Where's it breaking down? At what step do things break down? And it's that we want to determine and fix. I call it the error trilogy. We've got error detection. What's an inefficiency that I've got? Error detection. I've got a white background coming for this. In fact, I've got a black background coming for this one. Error trilogy. We've got to detect what's going wrong. Look, it's got a radar. We've got to reject it. No, I'm not doing that anymore. We've got to correct it. Do this, not that. Right? It's creating new habits. And they're long-term, permanent changes. So you've got to know exactly what you do want, exactly what you don't want, and repeat. Bang, 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 until the brain does it automatically. Then you move on to the next one, and you start working on that. And the first one, if it hasn't been drilled home enough, sticks out of the ground again. Bang, 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 bang. We've got to go back and hammer it so it's not going to come back out. So it's one step. And I work with this. It's this training thing, process or approach that I use for both performance anxiety. Do you get nervous when you go on stage? Why? Why does the brain go into a fight, flight, freeze mode? Why? What is it afraid of? The human nature is we don't want to be shamed, embarrassed, judged, humiliated. But consciously love playing, love music, it's great fun. So why does it change when we go on stage? We actually have to learn, and this is a major thing that I'll be talking about in Rochester, and building a new website about, in fact, for sportsmen, business people, you name it. You got to get up in front of people and deliver a confident performance or presentation. There are a bunch of steps that you need to do leading up to said presentation. So you go on there and you enjoy yourself and you you give yourself the opportunity to perform at the best. You give yourself the opportunity to perform at your best. But especially in music, people get nervous the day before or 2 days before and then panic on stage. I know I used to, but I didn't practice not doing that. I didn't know how. I was never told. I just hoped it would go away. So we've got to change the brain, and it's all based on, again, this visualization. While I can see myself walking on stage, I don't want to panic. I want to feel confident. Belief, confidence and clarity, not doubt, fear and confusion. The confidence scale. I want to be confident. I want to enjoy myself. You can't enjoy yourself when you're panicking, you're loaded with fear, right? So the way we change our brain, literally, is visualize what our, the great result will be. And you can even remember what a failure was. So you're showing the brain, this is what I want, this is what happened. I don't want to do that again, I want to do this. Both of them obviously have a feeling attached, and then it's the messaging in the brain. And we do it in real time, and we do it leading up to the performance. So then we do change the brain. And if you're obsessed with wanting to perform at a higher level with confidence, that's what we're focusing on. We live it every day and we repeat. It might be messaging, it might be drills, depends on the situation. And it's the same with musicians' focal dystonia. I'm just going to keep saying it over and over and over again. It's a condition that's around everywhere. It's destroying careers, but it's fixable. It doesn't need to be everywhere. And there are early signs that if we can pick up on them early enough, we can stop them from happening. And stopping, I've turned a horn player around in Germany who the hesitation had started, and you can tell the brain was headed into a complete meltdown. We've turned the ship around, and now it's a whole different ballgame. It's wild. It's really, really, really cool. So the dystonia has been averted, and the confidence is back, playing better than ever. So we are literally changing the brain. We've got faulty wiring somewhere if we're inefficient. That can affect our endurance. We don't want our endurance affected. We want to be efficient. So where are we inefficient? We've got to find out where the faulty wiring is. Information is also extremely important. The concept of sound creation, the whole confusion around the correct use of the body or not use. It's also extremely, the information and the concept of sound. The whole confusion around the correct, right. And that's why I like using the voice. And so I would love to work on people with speech impediments, because I'd love to just experience, see what's happening, see what's grabbing, see what's not in the right shape. And then the understanding of the mechanics, and obviously the idea of sound that you're going to make is critical. It's fascinating, Evo. Really curious about that. That's cool. What's that? Correct. There's a crown and a crown. I don't know what the crown number 1 is. Correct? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Channel activity, go to channel, pin message. Excuse me, guys, this is my second time streaming. This time it's through OBS from Zoom to YouTube. I'm a slow learner, but we're getting there. So it's literally in the voice, talking way, it's shape, it's what's locking, what's grabbing. And that's the same with trumpet playing, because of course if I'm talking to you like this, it's harder work and it doesn't sound as good. But what am I doing? I'm activating my abdominals a lot, and that's creating tension all through my chest. I call it the collar with a noose, and my voice is under pressure and everything's tight. It's like we're lifting 1,000 pounds. We've got air flowing, we've got an oscillation, we've got sound, we've got timbre. But you'd never say use more energy, blow more or anything to fix this sound if it's like this. You'd say back off and relax. So we learn that model of opening the body up. It's all covered in the 10-step tune-up. How to breathe correctly and relax. Hum, ah. Learn all the different sounds and shapes that we can make using the tongue and all that sort of stuff. Then it's no harder work when we put the instrument on. We can make it harder by lifting 1,000 pounds, or whoops, we just make it a lot harder than it needs to be, because our understanding of how the lips work, talking about the information, what we think we need to do with the lips, how we think that they work, and what we think the role of the body is traditionally incorrect. It's the all pressure approach. It's the all hard work approach. All right. Now, I've been zooming for like YouTube videoing. I was one of the first people ever to put YouTube videos out years ago. Now everyone's going, can you please press like? Never done it. But these days, everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing what I've been doing for 25 years. But algorithms get mentioned all the time. If you've got anything of value from my videos over the last 25 years, can you just click or press or something, the thumbs up button, because more people will see it. We're here trying to help. This is all really fun, helpful information, I hope. Right? So, I could rave on about a million, billion, zillion things. I won't today. This session is about the fact that if we're unhappy with where we're at, whether it's technically, whether it's performance anxiety, whether it's musician's focal dystonia, and again, for those of you that don't know what that is, it's an involuntary muscle activation somewhere that's been triggered for a list of reasons a million miles long. I've got a website called fubrian.com, 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 and we address musician's focal dystonia. If you are having issues with any kind of curiosity or concern, involuntary tremors or shakes, hesitance, doubt, fear, contact us through Fubrian. But it's all the same learning process. There's something in the brain that we need to change. It's all based on the feeling. It's based on clarity and awareness of what we need to change. Right? So I'd ask people here, my next Sunday sessions, and I'm thinking of starting YouTube members channel here for member specific information videos. I've got to check out how all that works. So stand by for that one. And I do weekly masterclasses, and this week's is called the primary error. What's our primary error? What's the first thing that goes wrong in our playing? And most people will not be able to answer that question. They pick up the instrument, they have a good day, they have a bad day, they have an indifferent day, whatever. They're not exactly sure why the good days are happening and why the bad days are happening. So we actually have to discover what our primary error is. So we've got errors are us. Here's our primary error. And there's our Fubrian brain there, right? So we've got to know what is going wrong. Consistency is a big issue with people. Why? Why are we inconsistent? It's if we're trying to control too much of our playing consciously, the subconscious brain doesn't know what to do. We haven't told it what to do, because once it knows, it'll do it. It's wild. So I've just had three thoughts go through my mind at once. consistency will come from programming the brain to do all of the steps. That's what the 10 steps are here. To start and show the brain. It's a way of detecting, don't forget the error trilogy. Error, detection, rejection, correction. I know what I'm doing wrong. I know why I'm having a bad day. I'm being inefficient, right? Consistency comes from allowing the body to do what it wants to do. The other thought that I had was, in Zen in the Art of Archery, they say you don't want to be relying on favourable conditions. You don't want to be relying on favourable conditions, meaning, I felt physically really great today and it went great. You can't rely on that if you're getting up on stage in front of 100,000 people. You've got to be able to get the job done no matter what. Doesn't matter temperature, doesn't matter what stage. You've got to learn to deal with all of these conditions, not relying on favourable conditions. And that takes away the confusion. Okay? So the Sunday sessions this week is about finding the primary error. If you've got some dissatisfaction with your playing, go to mysterytomastery.com and start the 10-step tune-up. Go through it, reach out. You can upload a video and I'll send you back some feedback going, this is what I believe you're doing. There is no obligation to stay whatsoever. I'm trying to share this information. As you can see, we're going to great lengths to get this information around the world. We had an amazing trip to Croatia and around Europe last year. If you would like to come to a live masterclass and you can't make the ITG conference starting the 26th of May in Rochester, New York, I will be, the next time I'm on here, I'll have another scene and it will flash up. Sonoma in California, about the 13th of May. Seattle, Washington, about the 16th. Vancouver, Toronto, Chicago, then Rochester. That's the road to Rochester. So there'll be masterclasses there. Shoot me an email, greg@mysterytomastery.com, to find out where and when. We're still looking for venues. If you know of venues in these particular places, we've had some great leads. Thank you very much. So we're still looking for more. Sonoma, I'm covered. Seattle, still looking. Vancouver, lots of leads. Toronto, got a couple of ideas. Chicago, need a place. Symphony Hall will be fine. Rochester's obviously covered at Eastman School of Music. So I look forward to getting there, doing a master class on a really powerful learning process. But ideally, we'll see you for the ITG conference. I'm so excited to be speaking at the 50th anniversary of it at a prestigious school in the wonderful New York state. It's going to be amazing. So we are here to make you a better player or get over performance issues, whether it's performance anxiety or musician's dystonia. We're going to leave you for today, and the next topic, I'm going to just keep coming on every day talking about the next little step in the way. Okay? Brass playing's no harder than humming, talking and singing. The brain learns from the feeling, from the experience, from the sensation, and the sensation will be best when you've got the right information integrated in the most efficient way. On that note, my dear friends, happy brass playing. Good luck in this crazy world of ours, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Now, how do I turn this off super fast? I think I press stop streaming. Let's see what happens. Bye-bye.